Hello and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to talk to you about working or being a stay-at-home mum and how I am kind of both, which I never really set out to do. When I had my son, I worked full-time and I went back to work when he was 11 months old. When I had my daughter, I had applied for university places when I was pregnant, so I started university when she was just 6 months old. She went to the same childminder as my son, and so that worked really well. I felt it felt really hard sending her to the childminder at just 6 months old. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't feel I'd spent enough time with her, but I knew I would have time off from university in the summer and at Easter and at Christmas, so I thought that would make up for it. The plan was eventually that when I finished university I would then go into a graduate scheme and go back to full-time work. As I progressed through university we sort of realised that wasn't going to happen in the same way. So it also coincided with my grandma becoming ill and then 9 months later my grandma dying. And my grandma was running a B&B in a family home in the Yorkshire Dales, and it was a place we visited all the time. And the children loved it, I love it. It's the kind of house we could never ever afford to buy. So obviously my husband and I talked about it and the family talked about it, and it was agreed that we would move into the house and run the B&B. Now it wasn't exactly my kind of career plan. It wasn't something I'd ever contemplated doing. So I guess you could say I put my career on hold, or my planned career on hold, for the children. It has been hard. It's hard sharing your home with people who you don't know. It's hard not having your own space at weekends and sometimes during the week, especially in the summer holidays. It's hard when it's busy and the children are at home, because it's busy at weekends, it's busy in the holidays, and those are always times the children are here. And there's not many people who have to work with their kids in the same space as them. And that can be difficult, but it's something we're getting through and it's something we're working around. And it is hard, and obviously I freelance as well. I blog and I vlog and I work for Tots 100 as their video editor. So I do lots of different things to try and get income where I can, because the bed and breakfast isn't a particularly lucrative income. I think I wouldn't want to just be a stay-at-home mum, and I don't mean that in any derogatory way whatsoever, but certainly I found after 2 years of having a young child that my brain needed like some stimulation, which is kind of why I went to university, and it was probably the most self-indulgent thing I could ever have done. But it was hard work. I'm glad I did it. I'm someone who likes a focus in life. And I feel that if I was a stay-at-home mum, I would have to have something more than just my children. I don't know if that makes me less maternal than other people or what, but I just don't think I could do it. Obviously my children are at school now, so it works really well with the business during school time, during term time, because I've got time to do my job as well as my freelance jobs. In the holidays it's less easy to do all that, but we still managed to get there. I'm having experienced both being a full-time working mum and being a full-time working mum who is a stay-at-home mum. I definitely prefer the balance that I've got now. I would probably like to have a bit more balance where I spent more time with the children at weekends, but the job I do simply isn't possible, and if I didn't do that job we wouldn't be living in this house. So there's a whole kind of big box of stuff that happens if I'm not doing the job. I feel like I'm rambling now. Let me know what you do, what your thoughts are. Personally, it's like the breastfeeding bottle debate. I kind of feel like what people want to do with their own lives is nothing to do with me. It's their own choice. It's up to you what feels right for you and how you want to work that, and if it doesn't feel right then it's about finding a way of making that change and making it so that it does feel right. And I think for me university gave me a lot of time to think about stuff and about what I wanted from life, and just gave me time out, as well as like obviously challenging me. It made me put my life a lot more into perspective than I had done before. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on being a stay-at-home mum who works full-time, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye.